Hello everyone, it's me and Eldis back with another video, and today we're talking about Sonic Movie 3. Now this will contain spoilers because I have no idea how I'm supposed to talk about this movie without spoilers. Because I got a lot to say in all the good right ways, because off the bat, I love this movie. This movie is amazing. It's just awesome. Everything that I could not like about movie 1 and 2 gets fixed in movie 3. It's, for starters, again, it's a beautiful film. Like, they clearly put a lot of time in the CGI because every shot is beautiful, especially the ending when Sonic and Shadow are in space fighting each other, fighting the robots, their super forms, which look very fucking awesome. Everything just around Shadow, like every shot, every scenery, it just looks very, very good. Like, this movie, I can't even tell if it's more beautiful than Transformers 1, because Transformers 1 was also a very remarkable, beautiful movie, but this movie is also it's very beautiful. More beautiful than I thought it would be. And there's a lot of shots. Like, you go to Tokyo, you go to London, you go to space, you go into, this big weapon, meteor, like, I forgot what they call it, but it's like this big meteor weapon that's gonna blow up Earth, essentially. And it doesn't look cheap. Like, this movie looks 10 times, 100 times better than anything Marvel I've shown in the last 5 years in terms of their CGI. It is a very remarkably beautiful film. Also, I like the references. It does take a lot of references from Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Adventures 2, and a lot of ideas, because they take a lot of inspiration, but also a lot of it is original. Like, for starters, which surprised me the most is I'm pretty sure Maria is not sick in this universe. There's no Ark. They're all under a lab on Earth, and apparently Black Doom, I don't think exists because Shadow wasn't created. Shadow was found after a meteor crash landed onto Earth, and Gun found him, and he was just sent over to this lab where he will meet Maria. So I'm pretty sure Maria isn't sick in this universe. Definitely not my idea direction, but it is interesting. It's an interesting direction, and I don't hate it, so I'm not gonna criticize it. I will say, though, that might confuse people or throw people off with some of the ideas I come up with, because again, a lot of it is heavily inspired by Sonic Adventures 2, but they also don't go with that. But it's also not just a copy and paste. There is some originality to it, because Maria dies, but she doesn't get shot. It's like an aftermath explosion because when they're trying to escape, someone shoots at them and hits this one of these containers full of Shadow's chaos energy, and it explodes, and that's how Maria dies. And then, of course, the biggest thing I think that threw people off was the fact that Gerald is alive. I won't say I do like Jim Carrey a lot in this movie. Him playing Robotnik and Gerald was an interesting mix. Now, I will say there are some cringy scenes with those two, because he goes really weird on them, especially with Gerald, which might be the thing that divides people. But I'm not gonna lie, it was entertaining. I was entertained watching these two guys, or Jim Carrey playing these two guys on screen. I don't know. It does kind of take some ideas when it comes to when it comes to Robotnik's background, because in movie 1 he says he's an orphan, and in this movie it is like, what happens? Sonic's like, what do you think you would have been like if you had family? And at this point, he kind of starts enjoying the fact that he has a family member, and kind of even because of how close he gets with Gerald, even Agent Stone starts seeing how much he's been treated like crap. Again, interesting direction all in all. And I don't know, it was interesting seeing Gerald alive, even though he's 110 years old and pretty doing well for 110. But he is very unhinged, which is true to the game. So, again, it is very Jim Carrey. And I can see they did another cop-out, potentially if they want to end his story here, or if they want to bring him back. And I kind of hope they end his story here, because the ending, he quote-unquote dies, sacrificing himself along with Shadow to stop that big meteor from destroying Earth. And his last thing is that he sends a message to Earth, basically thanking Stone for actually, giving a shit about him despite how he treated him. And again, he makes a little nice reference to the first movie. And I don't know, I thought that was a really good conclusion for Agent Stone and Eggman or Robotnik. I definitely enjoyed that conclusion. So in a way, like, I kind of hope they don't bring him back because it is such a good conclusion to Robotnik and an ironically good conclusion to Jim Carrey, because these Sonic movies is probably the only thing keeping him from like fully retiring at this point. But Jim Carrey did a really amazing job in this film. And also, of course, let's talk about what everyone wants to know, Shadow. Keanu did it amazing. I love his portrayal of Shadow. Like, it's different in terms that it's more calm. He seems to have more caring. He's not broody. He's not edgy. Even his anger is like this contained, calm anger. And I really did enjoy seeing Shadow. I think he worked very well with all the other characters, and I think that he did very well with the actress who played Maria. They really worked well with each other, and you definitely had a reason to care about Shadow. If anything, also they didn't cheap shot at me. They're like, Shadow is a badass. He's kicking their asses all the time. Again, there's the reference of having him hold a gun, having him ride a motorcycle. The only difference is that he doesn't need a Chaos Emerald to chaos control. That's something Shadow can do naturally. But again, different ideas. I'm not upset by it either. He also just looks generally like it's a really, really good model. And so, yeah, like I said, interesting ideas in the story, interesting ideas when it comes to what they took, what they changed, what they're building up to. And for the most part, I don't hate it. I really like it. There isn't really any big things I have to complain about. Maybe the pacing, maybe Jim Carrey going a little too Jim Carrey on Gerald. But all in all, I really did enjoy the film. Knuckles and Tails are involved with it, have their spots and moments to shine. Also, I think they did a good job with the humans, knowing when to make them relevant and knowing when to step them back, because they do help Sonic and the others when it comes to them breaking into the Guns base in London. But when it's time for them to step back, they know that, okay, let's just lean them back. It didn't feel as forced or irrelevant as movie 2, which I did like. I really did like. So, all in all, it's a really good movie. And the mid-cut scenes, there's two of them. I know I said spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil this one. I'm not going to spoil the mid-credit scenes. What I will say, it's the best one. It looks awesome. And when I was in the theater, I screamed so loudly because of how excited I was for it. And I think, I know I'm not going to spoil that one for you. I think that if you're going to see it, I will say there's two of them. Watch the whole thing. You gotta watch the whole thing. And to be honest, I'm just scratching the surface. There's still a lot more to this movie. There's a lot more references. There's a lot of the action. It looks very good. And there's even a lot more moments when it comes to like Sonic learning how to be a team. And even like Knuckles Knuckles is fucking overpowered in this movie, I will say that. He's just their last resort, and then you just wonder why they didn't use him at first, because he is very overpowered. The comedy is more balanced, the tone is better. It's just a really awesome movie. It really, really is. And if I really want to be picky, I could do like the pacing's off, or Gerald and Maria don't really get any time together, so you have to take his word of how much he actually cares and why he went crazy or more crazy after it. But again, it's just really hard to really criticize this movie thoroughly when you get the ending with Super Sonic and Shadow with Live and Learn playing in the background being at badasses. It's really hard because it is a good movie. It is such an amazing movie. I love it. I really love it. I did a few days before the movie came out, we did a Sonic Movieverse marathon with my brother, and Funny enough, I never reviewed the first movie because I wasn't really doing YouTube. The second movie I gave an 8 out of 10, and the Knuckles series I gave a 6 out of 10. But that video is kind of old, so I'm gonna say I give movie 1, I give a 7 out of 10. Movie 2, 7.5 out of 10. Knuckles series, I'm still gonna keep 6 out of 10. But movie 3 is getting a 9.5 out of 10. It is beyond amazing. And the only reason why I'm not going to go like 10 out of 10 or whatever is because, one, a little bit of the pacing is off and some developments that could have been really fleshed out. But most importantly is I think movie 4, that's already been confirmed, is going to be my 10 out of 10. But Sonic 3 is, in every word, amazing. 9.5 out of 10. Go watch it in theaters. I am being very even though I've let out some spoilers, there's still a lot more to this movie that there is to offer. And I think that, like I said, it does take different directions from what the games do. But if you are open-minded to it, I suggest still giving the film a chance, because that might be the thing that might like throw you off or you might not like. But be open-minded to it, because it might not be the direction I would have gone, but it's not a bad direction regardless. And I think that any Sonic fan could really love this film. I love this film. I was beyond shocked with this film, and I just really wish we could just snap our fingers and make movie 4 happen, because I can tell they're building up to something amazing, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. So that's all I got to say about Sonic Movie 3. It's awesome, badass, Shadow's amazing. It's a beautiful film. Go watch it. What are you waiting for? And with that being said, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I post and stream as often as I can. And have you seen the movie yet? Have you not seen the movie yet? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Let me know. Let me know. And as always, till next time. Bye-bye.